The verses from the Quran at the current Mosque Cathedral of Cordoba were not chosen at random. They were almost certainly selected with care by the Qadi of Cordoba, Mundir ibn Said al-Baluti, one of the most formidable religious figures of 10th century Al-Andalus. Contemporary sources describe Mundir as an upright and exacting judge, renowned for his mastery of scripture and his ability to deploy Quranic verses with surgical precision. As Susana Calvo Capilla notes, he was known for selecting verses that directly addressed the issue at hand, reinforcing them with hadiths and sermons, legal rulings, and public proclamations. During the very years when the mosque was expanded, Mundir stood at the intersection of law, theology, and public life. Andalusi chroniclers preserved records of his sermons and court decrees, and a clear pattern emerges. Quranic citation was never ornamental. It was argumentative. It clarified doctrine, reinforced orthodoxy, and shaped how the community understood truth, error, reward, and judgment. Seen in this light, the mosque's inscriptions, especially those focused on doctrinal clarity and the afterlife, stopped looking like decorative piety. They became deliberate textual interventions. The same verses Mundir proclaimed from the minbar were fixed permanently into stone and mosaic, transforming architecture into a medium of instruction. The walls themselves began to teach. One reason these verses mattered so much in the 10th century was the rise of the Masaris, a dissident movement in Al-Andalus that challenged core Sunni doctrines. They rejected bodily resurrection, denied the eternal nature of the Quran, and favored esoteric interpretation over public law. For the Umayyad state, this was not a minor theological disagreement. It was a direct threat to religious authority. In response, anti-Masari edicts were read publicly in the Great Mosque itself, and the inscriptions added during this period echoed those same concerns. Verses affirming divine judgment, resurrection, and God's absolute transcendence were not abstract statements of faith. They were architectural rebuttals to ideas seen as destabilizing the community from within. This strongly suggests that the epigraphy of the Great Mosque was not an anonymous or abstract theology. It was part of a calculated symbolic program crafted to speak directly to religious and political tensions of its time. In a period marked by heresy, rebellion, and rival claims to authority, the mosque did not merely host worship. It projected a message. The Quran was made visible, permanent, and unavoidable, aligned precisely with the challenges facing the Umayyad Caliphate and addressed to a community that knew exactly what was at stake.